Tonight we kind of put this thing together impromptu, and I appreciate you making it out. I want to introduce Ethan. Come on up. This is my son, Ethan Hastings. Some of you who hadn't been around the troop when he was there, this is who we're going to talk about. I want Ethan up here for a couple of reasons, because he doesn't know anything about this part. But one of the things that I used to do back in the early days was I used to do a bunch of slideshows. And back in the day, there wasn't digital cameras. You had to take these pictures with the special film, and you had to you get your little slide thing, you had to look at it. And what I did, I'd get music, and I'd spend countless hours just making sure the slide and the thing fit and everything. Well, then we progressed, and we got into some voiceover type stuff. So we played. So I don't know if you remember that or not. Everybody will listen right now. It's only going to be effective though if you put this on, okay? Because this is this little Ethan here. It's only going to be effective if you do this. So here we go. This is Ethan and doing a voiceover with me.
Hey Dad, what's the favorite thing you would want to do in your life?
Wow, son, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. What about you?
I wish I could fly.
You mean in an airplane?
No, like a bird. All I would have to do is keep my hands up and fly to different places whenever I want. But that would take magic to do that.
Well, you're right, son. It would take some magic. But if you just hold on to your dreams, believe in yourself, and ask God to help you, a lot of magic will happen in your life. Ethan was quite a star when he was young. We down there, we were real big at Circle 10, and they wanted to do a new training video. And so they asked our troop to help with the training video. And Ethan was just a kindergartner, and it didn't even dawn on me that they needed tiger cubs. It didn't even dawn on me that he didn't know how to read. So I said, yeah, we'll do it. I got you. My son will be a tiger cub, blah, blah, blah. So we get out to the park and they give him the script, and he can't read the script. So I remember I'm having to teach him everything to say before he says it. So we made the video and everything worked out there. But we did a lot of cool stuff back then. But and I entitled this part, "I Wish I Could Fly." And we talked about it would take magic to do that, and I think that in his career from Tiger Cub to Eagle Scout, he's done a lot of magic. I was going to go through and he could take this off. I'm not going to but no, you're not in trouble. But these some of his accomplishments. We used to do a little workshop. I think it was for wolf or bear or something. I think I actually made these for Weeblo. But this actually used to fit. So I thought there might be some girls here that could embarrass him, but actually some of his girlfriends could probably wear this. But the Tiger Cub stuff. And of course, one of the big things in Cub Scouts was what? And just so you guys aren't going to harass me later, I brought pictures. This is Ethan building his car. Okay? Now, granted, he didn't do it all, but we learned very quickly back in the day that we had to buy a Dremel tool because this hand sanding thing just wasn't going to work out. But one of the funny things was this one, and you remember why we chose this? We wanted to do the Batmobile. He made a mistake of getting a Batmobile for Christmas one year, and then we decided to do the Batmobile, and then we had the Dremel so we could make these things. And he's a Tiger Cub, and so we made this car. Now, does this car look like it would win anything? No, don't even win anything. Well, we figured he'd win his den, so he won his den. We didn't figure he was going to win the whole pack. So his very first year, he was a little upstart Tiger Cub, and ticks his big brother off. Because his big brother won the year before, he was going to take it every year. So Ethan came right out the bat and did it again. And then the next year, though, we decided to do this, right? This is a speed racer thing. So we were real cocky at that point. So we were the Hastings racing team. And this was an official pit pass to our area. So if you didn't have one of these, you couldn't get in. But unfortunately, this one didn't roll like we wanted it to. He still got first in his den, but his brother got his revenge and won the whole deal that year. And then after that, Ethan was just out of control. He was out of control. Nobody wanted to race with him. It was 2000, and remember this one? The Millennium Mauler. This was in 2000, and it had Ethan.com on the back. But he was so cocky with this one, I'll never forget. He was racing it forward, and he decided he was going to race it backwards. And still beat it. And what was so funny was it would hit the back of it, and it would come back out of the gate before the other cars would get in the gate. We had the wooden track thing. I don't remember the name. What was the name of this one? You remember you named that one? Crossback or back? I forget to name it. He had a really cool name for that one, but anyway, he always had a good time with that. Now, day camp. Do you remember the Thrashers?
Yeah.
Who are these? I don't know who these guys are. Big day camp thing. A lot of our time obviously was in Cub Scouts. We had all the boys in there. But day camp, and then another big thing at our house was the buddy bake every year. You know the buddy bakes? And it turned out that the boys would team up, so they'd come up this year and they won a pack. But we were doing everything from shredded wheat and pretzels and gummy bears and doing all kinds of stuff like that. And of course, the Guide and Country Award stuff that we always got. And then we crossed over, got his Weeblo Award. We crossed over into Boy Scouts, and this was his first group in Coppell. It was 842. And what was your first camp with them? Do you remember?
Richardson.
Oh, Sid Richardson? Okay, so that was right after we joined, right before we came up here. We went to Sid Richardson, and he did the first year camper program there, right? And then we came up here. Do you remember Cherokee? Camp Cherokee?
With the leprechaun?
Yeah, well, remember the rodeo?
Yeah.
They had this rodeo, and there was a picture. This is you guys were throwing bandanas on geese. Stuff you wouldn't think you get to do today in Boy Scouts. Probably you still can't. They threw bananas on geese. They were chasing the cows and not ripping their tails off, but they had ribbon on the tail. And then the adults had to take a greased pig, and we had to pass it back and forth, and then we had to put a pamper on the thing. But it was a great time, and it was a Weeblos camp. But horseback riding, you got to do that kind of stuff. And then we came up to Virginia, and the first camp here was Raven Knob. What were some of your thoughts of Raven Knob? You remember that camp?
I thought it was my favorite summer camp for a long time. I don't know, it was awesome.
Remember the flood?
Yeah, I was on. What was I on? I was on
overnight. I think
some overnight thing that wasn't with the troop, and like our whole circus tent fell over in a huge storm. We had to end up sleeping under some shelter with like nobody had sleeping bags or anything. And then I don't know, y'all's place got flooded. We got picked up by a van at like 2 in the morning. I didn't even know. All of us were like screaming, having a crazy time, and then like we were actually in like real danger of like being hurt. But I don't know, we had a good time.